there, welcome back to week 2 of this week's podcast on intentional living. I am your host, your holistic health and wellness coach, Susie Rollins, and I help you increase your confidence through daily intentional living to experience living your best life. In this week's episode, we're going to explore the concept of 5 love languages and how to use them to improve your relationships. And so I want to introduce you to this book. It's called The 5 Love Languages. It's by Gary Chapman. You can download this on Audible. You can buy the physical book. I was actually introduced to this book and this concept through business, and I have used it through business relationships, customer relationships, personal relationships. And I just want to read you something from the back of the book, kind of before we go on a little bit with the podcast. Simple ideas and lasting love. Between busy schedules and long days, expressing love can fall by the wayside. We forget to compliment or give gifts just because. We forget to linger in the embrace. The things that say, I love you, seem to either get not said or not enough. This book is about saying it and hearing it clearly. No gimmicks, no psychoanalyzing, just learning to express your love to your spouse's language. So I have used this book, the concepts in this, with my own children. I have used it with customers. I have used it with team members. And what was interesting was I learned this through business, and I thought, well, that's odd. But you need to show people that you love them and that you care for them. And so it's a simple read. It's, let's see, I don't even know how many pages. About 188 pages, so less than 200 pages. Like I said, you can download it on Audible. But the reason why I want to introduce you to the 5 love languages is that it can help you communicate effectively. It can also just help you maybe understand yourself, maybe understand your own love language. I think that's huge too. So we're going to discuss the importance of understanding your love language as well as the love language of your partner. Like I said, you can use these concepts with your spouse, your kids, your coworkers, whatever, and show your affection differently, right? So the 5 love languages are a way of understanding how people prefer to receive love. And the actual love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So one of, I think the key things is, let's just say, for example, your love language, the way that you like to receive love, is in quality time, but somebody else's is in words of affirmation. So because you like quality time, you're always giving quality time to this person, and you think that you're showing love, which you are, but not in a way that they receive it. It's kind of like English versus Spanish, right? You're saying it, but they're not quite getting it. So if you knew that this person loves words of affirmation and that's how they receive love, and you gave words of affirmation, they are going to feel so incredibly loved, and it's going to deepen your relationship. And so this is why I say it can be your spouse, your intimate partner, your kids, your coworkers, your team members, whatever, because everybody wants to feel loved. So I think it's important to kind of go through them. And there's a little quiz online. So if you look up Gary Chapman 5 love languages quiz, there's a quiz, and you'll go through the questions. And at the end, it'll tell you what your top 2 are. Most people have 2. I can tell you that mine are quality time and acts of service. Actually, I believe acts of service is number 1, and then quality time. And so when somebody understands that about me, and then they're doing those things, it shows me incredible love. So that's just kind of an example. So basically, I just want to kind of bring this concept to you guys today, because understanding your love language can help you communicate your needs to your partner. So once you know yours, you can communicate that to somebody. And understanding their love language can help you express loves in ways that they appreciate as well. And so I've done this quiz with my husband. I've actually done the quiz with my kids. My kids surprised me what theirs came out to be. The 5 love languages can just be a powerful tool in improving relationships. By understanding your own and the people around you, I think that you're going to develop more meaningful relationships, which I think in the long run is what most of us want, right? We want deeper, more meaningful relationships. And, if somebody's love language is physical touch, maybe they want a hug, maybe they want you to hold their hand, maybe they want you to walk by at the office and kind of pat them on the shoulder, be like, hey, how's it going? Things like that. The gifts, I don't think they have to be elaborate. Sometimes just a little, hey, I went on this trip and I got you this little magnet could be a thing that, somebody receives as love. So if you have read this book or listened to it on Audible, I would love for you to put it in the comments and tell me your thoughts. And if you haven't, I encourage you to do so and then tell me your thoughts, because you guys, like I said, I heard this in a business seminar. One of the leaders was giving this talk on the 5 love languages, and the whole time we're going through this, and I'm thinking, but how does it apply? Like, I don't want to touch my clients. I don't want to, I don't know, whatever. But let's just say one of my clients was gifts. So if I put a little sample in their bag, or I put a little something in their bag, a little note, if I text them, hey, I really appreciate you, and I love the way that looks on you, or something, just some words of affirmation, just kind of boosting them up. If I understand that about them, it makes my business more productive, right? So I think it's a better use of time. So if you have read it, put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you haven't, go get it and then put it in the comments. And as always, I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode of Intentional Living. I hope that you learned something new and you're inspired to live a more intentional life. I'm going to ask that you please subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast app, and that you share it with your friends and family, and go live more intentionally. Share some love. It's February after all. It's the month of love.